Welp. Year after year of hearing that this thing was in the works, just for it to get delayed and canceled the following week. After what felt like nearly a decade of waiting for this thing to come out. Oh shit, never mind. Regardless of the amount of time it took for this thing to reach the production stage, I think nobody actually expected this thing to come out, and yet here we are. The middle school version of myself would be jizzing his pants right now. Going into this movie, I was fully aware that anyone that didn't play or watch these games was going to fucking hate this. And jeez, I could not have been any more right. To put it simply, this movie is made for the fans and nobody else. If you aren't at least slightly familiar with the premises of these games, or you don't know who this sexy individual is, you're gonna leave the theater going, the fuck did I just watch? Look at the Rotten Tomatoes rating. You would think that these people just walked out of the Cuties premiere with how they scored this. As an OG fan of the game, and I mean an OG, like the full Yummy Mash playthroughs from 2014 OG, I thought the movie played plenty of homage to the games and the story that developer Scott Cawthon was trying to create. Listen, I've watched like 7 game theory videos, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. This movie is perfectly in line with what happens in the game. I also like the scene in the movie where Sigma Freddy raises up the security guard with his bussin' guy at. That's some real commitment to the storyline right there. On a real note though, I've kind of been following this franchise on and off after the original hype I had for it as a kid kind of dwindled, but clearly this movie is meant for anyone that finds interest around that game and its story. It's not meant to be some movie a casual theater enjoyer is gonna look at and be like, this movie's Oscar worthy, because obviously it's not. When you have an entire encyclopedia of terms and lore and characters like Five Nights at Freddy's does, I really don't know how the fuck you can cram all of that information within one movie. It's probably why this movie's gonna be the first of many in this series, but the fact they were able to tell a story in a way most people could follow along with was pretty impressive. Is this an Oscar award-winning film? No. Is this going down as a cinematic classic that people are gonna talk about decades down the line? Absolutely not. But if you look at the previous video game adaptation attempts in the past, I mean, it's better than this fucking shit. Fans are gonna love this film, and Rotten Tomatoes is gonna think it's dog shit. But if you've experienced or watched this game as a kid like I have, I'd say give it a watch. I think anyone who grew up watching the Markipliers Let's Plays, the Pimations animations, the SMG4 shitposts, the One Funny Purple song that everyone thought was so funny in 2020. I think y'all are gonna love it regardless on how you feel about the plot. I thought the acting was decent. Yeah, the script's pretty mid, and a lot of the people are gonna be confused half the time. But as a childhood fan of this game, definitely watch this thing. 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Hold on.